Hello. Once again, I am Monsieur Anderson.
Welcome to Miss Houghton's kitchen. It's tiny, but it'll do, donkey. It'll do.
And welcome to today's episode of Monsieur Anderson and Mademoiselle Houghton's cooking show episode. Today we have the joy of bringing you the baking of the biscuit. Not in Europe, we have a different kind of a biscuit. Perhaps Mademoiselle Houghton, you could explain for us?
So what is a biscuit? The name biscuit comes from the middle word biscuit. That came from the Latin words bis, that means twice, and cookere, to cook, which literally means that biscuit is twice cooked. That is because it was originally only referring to dry, hard, quick breads. In England, Canada, and Australia, biscuits looked like these. Anything appeared yet?
It is a well-known fact that they call me a chef from the French word chief, as if I am the chief of the kitchen, or shall I say, the king of this domain.
But this is America, where biscuits are soft, big, and flaky, and people drive on the right side of the road. And I feel like when you're talking about biscuits, you're in the South. Biscuits and gravy. This is one of the only places on earth where when you ask for a biscuit, the waiter will serve you a soft, slightly salty, circular quick bread that looks like this. Anything yet? So in America, biscuits are made with salt rather than sugar. Interesting, right? Because normally I feel like we add a lot of sugar to things. Fun facts for you.
Are we ready to begin our baking biscuit recipe? Oui. No.
So, ingredients. You got 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup cold milk, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Or is it oil?
Here are our ingredients. We have flour, baking powder, baking soda, cold milk, salt, butter, and some oil. This is magnifique. I am so excited.
Also, directions. You want to set your oven to, I think right there, to 450 degrees. It's got to be hot. Then you got to mix the flour, the baking powder, the baking soda, oil, and salt. Cut the butter up. And then mix it by hand or an instrument, whatever works best. Stir in the milk just until the dough comes together in a sticky consistency. Also, just because of COVID, you might not want to use your hands. Granted, it would cook out the germs, so make sure you stay in COVID safe.
Biscuits are hard to mess up. You can always add more flour or more milk to make it just that right magnificent taste. We will now take 2 tablespoons of butter to add to our dough. Choosing a better butter does not make the batter bitter. Here you can see I am adding a bit more flour to make it a bit stronger, harder of a consistency, you know? And now I will mix it up some more. Who does not enjoy mixing up some biscuit batter?
Getting back on track. Turn dough onto floured surface. Dusting with flour. Folding dough over itself. Making sure it's really good and mixed up. Pressed into a 1-inch thick round. And then you're going to cut out biscuits with a 2-inch cutter, being sure to push straight down through the dough. Place biscuits on a baking sheet so that they just touch, and reform scrap dough to make more.
You know, you are in luck. I will now tell you a secret of how to make world-class delicious biscuits. You are to roll it out into a flat surface and then fold it on top of itself to make a layer, and do it again The more layers you make, the flakier it will be when it comes out of the oven. You will see what I mean. I have folded this for the last time, and now you see I have taken a normal cup with a wide diameter, and I am going to crush it as if it were my worst enemy. I will do so again and again. I cannot tell you how much fun this is. Next I have here our pan. It is now ready for the biscuits. How exciting! I will now reshape the dough. That is my favorite part. And with the last of the biscuits placed like so upon the tray, these biscuits will now have new life inside the oven. Mon Dieu, I cannot wait! As we wait for the biscuits to come out of the oven in a few minutes, I cannot help but notice on every American dining room table we have the salt and the pepper. But why? I mean, salt is one of the most basic preservatives and seasonings of life. But why this other guy? It could have been just as easily salt and garlic. Or why not salt and basil? Or salt and oregano? Or salt and cinnamon? Or why not salt and sugar? The simple fact was that Louis XIV, the self-styled Sun King of France and the builder of the Palace of Versailles, loved the taste of pepper. Before him there was no famous French cuisine. He made French cooking the most famous in the world. And because of his love of pepper, every modern industrialized nation now has his choice of seasonings on every table around the planet.
What? Crazy. Also, be very careful when dealing with an oven or knives. Also, you want to bake the biscuits until they are tall, light, and gold on top for about 15 to 20 minutes. You know. And then they're going to come out and they're going to look like... See? Still nothing? Still nothing.
Be our guest, be our guest, put our service to the test. What do you mean, copyright law?
Well, there you have it, folks. That is cooking in this kitchen. This kitchen's Houghton. This kitchen's Houghton. It's Houghton's kitchen. It's a very tiny one, but it works.
I love the smell of biscuits in the morning. They smell like victory. I am a chef!
And I feel like when you're talking about biscuits, gotta add in that little southern accent there. I get my biscuits from the Bojangles.
And au revoir, mes amis. That is all. Au revoir. Chef Keys.